So let's create a class style and see how it works when you create one from beginning to end and apply it. And let's do that by first opening the Galapagos Tortoise page. You can do that here in the Files panel, or you can always choose File, Open if you prefer. So in the Galapagos Tortoise page, I actually added a caption to the bottom of this photo, but it doesn't have any styling to it. There's no CSS applied to this at the moment, besides what's used to control the elements on the page itself. So if I were going to create a style like a caption style, remember you can create a new style by choosing Format, CSS New, or this little icon at the bottom of the CSS Styles panel looks like a page with a plus sign on it. And if you click on that, it's just a shortcut to this new CSS rule dialog. Now I want to create a class style, so I want to start by choosing Class. And I'm going to call this Caption. So what do I need? That's right, a dot. Dot caption. Now for the moment, I'm just going to create this in this document only. We'll get into external style sheets in a moment. As you create a new style, you have the choice of including it in an existing style sheet, creating a new style sheet as you create the new style, or creating a new style just for the document you're in which case the style definition will be added to the top of the document itself, of course behind the code, not something you'll ever see in a browser. Now if I click OK, we get this CSS rule definition dialog, and this is where you can define your style and choose all of the formatting options you might want to include within this style. So for my caption, I think I'm going to make the font really small. Let's go with extra small. And I'm going to give it a font weight of bold so it sort of stands out. And I want to change the alignment of this caption. I'm going to center it under the picture. And to do that, I'm going to want to go over to the block style and choose Text Align Center. Now, as you'll see in a moment, centering in CSS can be a little tricky when you want to do things like center an image or a div tag. But if you're just trying to center the text within this, you can just choose Text Align Center, and now click OK. Notice here at the top of the CSS Styles panel, there's a new little text here called Style, and this distinguishes the internal style sheet from the external style sheet. So if it's an external style sheet, you'll see the .css. If it's internal, it'll just say Style and be surrounded by brackets like this. So we have a new style called Caption that we just created, and we can see in the Properties pane our extra small, bold, and center. And by the way, you can edit this in this CSS Properties pane or by double-clicking to open the CSS rule definition dialog again. To apply that style, that is, now we want to use that style to change the way this headline looks, you need to select this text and apply it. And there are a couple ways to do that. You can click and drag to select the text, or an even better way is to use the tag selector at the bottom of the screen. It's important when you apply a style that you're very precise about where you apply it and to what you apply it. So another thing to get used to thinking about with styles is that you're going to apply any style that's not a tag style to an element that's already on the page. So in this case, the easiest way to format all of this text with my new class style is to add that style information to the paragraph tag that surrounds this text. So there's a P tag at the beginning and the end of this text in the HTML code. And that's what adds the paragraph spacing around this. But it also gives me a container that I can use to attach this style to. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But for now, if you're just trying to format text like this and it's surrounded by a P tag, make sure that P tag is selected. And now here in the Property Inspector at the bottom of the page, I want you to notice that there's a Class drop-down menu. And because we now have a style called Caption, it's listed in this menu. So if I select that here, it automatically applies to the text. So when you create new class styles, they get added to this class menu and you can apply them to anything on the page. Now, if you edit this in the future, let's say we decide that we want to add a color to this, we could open the dialog, add a color, click OK, and you'll see it automatically changes whatever is styled with that caption style. Also notice that the P tag here in the tag selector now is p.caption, indicating that the caption style has been associated with this tag. If you right-click on that tag selector, or control-click if you're on a Mac, you'll see the option to remove the tag or to change the class. So if I wanted to change this to a different class, I could do so here. And if I want to remove the class itself, I could do so here. And let me just point out the difference there. If I right-click on this and I choose Remove Tag, I'm going to remove the entire paragraph tag. That's going to remove all of the formatting caused by the paragraph tag as well as the style. If I choose Set Class to None, then I'm just going to remove the style, but I'm going to leave the P tag. If I right-click and choose Class and I select Caption, then I apply it just as if I had selected it from the Property Inspector.